Top 5 Worst Breakfast Habits Destroying Your Blood Sugar. Diabetics must avoid. You've been told this your whole life. Eat fruit in the morning. Drink fresh juice to cleanse. Oatmeal gives you lasting energy. But if you're living with type 2 diabetes, here's a hard truth that most people never hear. These so-called healthy breakfast choices could be the silent reason your blood sugar stays high, no matter how hard you try. And the worst part? You genuinely believe you're eating right. But somehow, your glucose monitor tells a different story. This isn't about blame, it's about finally understanding what's really going on inside your body. In this video, I'll break down 5 popular breakfast habits that may be secretly sabotaging your blood sugar, even if you're already doing your best. And I'll explain each one with real science, real solutions, and no fluff, including insights that even people with years of experience managing diabetes often miss. But if you stay with me until the end, I'll also show you the first step to rebuilding your mornings, with breakfast options that help keep your blood sugar flat and your energy stable. Number 1. Drinking fruit juice on an empty stomach. I once worked with a woman named Carol, 62 years old, pre-diabetic for years. Every morning, she drank a glass of fresh orange juice because she believed it was helping her stay healthy. But her A1C kept rising. When we finally looked deeper, her healthy juice habit was quietly spiking her blood sugar every single day. And Carol is not alone. This happens to millions, not out of carelessness, but because they're doing what they've been told is healthy. That's why this first habit matters so much, because even small mistakes done daily can lead to big consequences over time. I don't eat sugar, you might say. I just drink a glass of fresh orange juice in the morning. But here's the problem. Fruit juice, even homemade, is basically fructose without fiber. Without fiber to slow it down, that fructose gets absorbed fast and hard by your liver, especially on an empty stomach. And if you're already on metformin, insulin, or waking up with elevated glucose, this single choice can trigger a glucose spike before you even eat a bite of food. Think about it. Your body is already insulin resistant. Now it has to battle a sugar surge with no buffer. A better option? Hydrate with water and a slice of lemon. Simple, effective, zero sugar. Or sip on herbal tea without sweeteners. If you do want fruit, pair it with protein or fat, like Greek yogurt, eggs, or a handful of almonds, to slow down absorption and blunt the spike. Even if you think you know this already, try measuring your blood sugar 30 minutes after a glass of juice, and see what really happens inside your body. Coming up next, we'll talk about another breakfast habit that millions of diabetics trust every morning, but despite its heart-healthy label, it may be driving your glucose higher than a candy bar. Number 2. Oatmeal and whole grain cereals. I eat oatmeal every morning. It's healthy, right? Sure, if you're metabolically healthy. But for people with type 2 diabetes, even steel-cut or rolled oats can be risky. Why? Because they're still high glycemic carbohydrates, which means they break down into glucose quickly and spike your blood sugar fast. And if you're adding low-fat milk or dried fruit, that turns your breakfast into a glucose bomb, even if it looks innocent on the surface. Remember, just because a carb is natural or whole doesn't mean it's safe for you. Here's what to do instead. Build a breakfast centered on protein and healthy fats. Think eggs, avocado, a few nuts or seeds. If you really want oats, try cutting the portion in half and adding a boiled egg or spoonful of nut butter to blunt the spike. Want proof? Test it yourself. Try oatmeal one day. Then try a high-protein breakfast the next. Use your CGM or glucose meter to compare. The numbers will speak for themselves. Next up, a common morning habit that seems light and refreshing, but it may be flooding your bloodstream with sugar before you've even had your first cup of coffee. Number 3. Just eating fruit for breakfast. Fruit is natural. It grows on trees. It must be good for me. That's a fair thought. But here's the thing. Natural doesn't always mean safe, especially not first thing in the morning. Fruits like bananas, mangoes, grapes, and pineapple are packed with glucose and fructose, and virtually no protein or fat. So when you eat them by themselves, especially on an empty stomach, the sugar rushes into your system, spiking your blood sugar fast. And if you're already insulin resistant, that spike lasts longer, crashes harder and puts more strain on your pancreas. What to do instead? Pair your fruit with full-fat Greek yogurt, a boiled egg, or a small handful of nuts to slow absorption. Choose lower-sugar fruits like berries, green apples with the peel, or small portions of kiwi. Advanced tip: combining protein, like eggs or Greek yogurt, and fat, like nuts or avocado, with fruit doesn't just slow sugar absorption, it also slows gastric emptying, helping you feel full longer and reducing post-meal glucose spikes. Coming up, what if your morning cup of coffee, that tiny splash of syrup or sweetened creamer, was quietly undoing all your efforts? In the next part, we'll reveal how caffeine plus hidden sugars can cause a perfect storm in your blood sugar levels, especially if you drink it on autopilot. You may think it's just a little, but your glucose monitor may tell another story. Number 4. That morning coffee with just a little sweetener. I don't eat breakfast, I just have 1 cup of coffee with a bit of condensed milk or agave syrup. Sounds harmless, right? But here's what most people, even many diabetics, don't realize. When you combine caffeine plus sugar and an empty stomach, it creates a perfect hormonal storm. Caffeine temporarily increases insulin sensitivity, yes, but when paired with fast-absorbing sugar, it causes a rapid rise in blood glucose and a sharper insulin response. That's especially dangerous if you're already insulin resistant or taking insulin, because the sugar spike feels mild, but the rebound crash later can leave you dizzy, fatigued, and craving more carbs. What to do instead? Try black coffee, or mix it with unsweetened almond milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon, not just for flavor, but to help stabilize post-meal glucose. Quick test. Have you ever measured your glucose 30 minutes after your just a little sugar coffee? Most people never do, but the numbers might surprise you. Next, we're about to expose a morning habit that's praised by fitness influencers everywhere, but could be sabotaging your blood sugar silently. If you've ever skipped breakfast to burn more fat, or try intermittent fasting, what I'm about to say may change how you approach your mornings forever. Number 5. Skipping breakfast entirely without glucose stability. Intermittent fasting has its place, but for people with type 2 diabetes, especially those on insulin or sulfonylureas, skipping breakfast can backfire. Here's why. When you wake up, your liver naturally produces glucose to help you get going. But if you skip food and don't have stable insulin action, that glucose keeps rising, causing a fasting glucose spike. And later, you might feel starved by noon, leading to a heavy, high-carb lunch that triggers another spike. Here's a smarter way. Try a light, balanced breakfast within 90 minutes of waking, especially if your morning glucose is high. Even 1 boiled egg plus a half avocado can help stabilize blood sugar for hours. If fasting hasn't worked for you, maybe your body is telling you something. Test it. Try a light breakfast. Check your numbers. Let data, not trends, guide you. In the next video, I'll show you 3 simple, stable, and satisfying breakfast recipes designed specifically to flatten your blood sugar curve. No energy crash, no sugar spike, and no more guessing. If this video made you rethink even one of your breakfast habits, imagine how many others are unknowingly making the same mistakes. So before you leave, take 3 seconds and send this to someone you care about. A parent, a friend, or someone who's managing diabetes alone. You might just save them from months or years of frustration. You don't have to take my word for it. You just have to test it. Use your CGM or glucose meter and check your numbers 30, 60, and 90 minutes after eating. The results will tell you more than any headline ever could. Whether you're just starting your diabetes journey or you've been managing it for years, remember this. There's no one-size-fits-all breakfast. Only the breakfast that works for your body, your blood sugar. Want my top 3 go-to breakfast ideas that won't spike your sugar, keep you full for hours, and take under 5 minutes to make? Type yes in the comments, and I'll share them in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, because I'll be sharing insights most doctors don't talk about, and your blood sugar deserves the truth.